Before signing up with a debt settlement company, it's crucial to thoroughly evaluate their services. You want to make sure that they align with your financial goals. We've spent years in the lending industry and we track over 50 different debt settlement companies. We want to use that experience to tell you the 13 questions you should ask before you sign up with a debt settlement company. What fees will I be charged? Debt settlement companies typically charge fees based on a percentage of the debt enrolled or the amount of debt settled. That percentage will be the bulk of what it costs you. But there are likely to be monthly account maintenance fees as well. So always ask the follow-up question, are there any other fees that I could experience during the process? How will the process work? Ask the company to explain their process in detail, including when will they begin negotiating? How long does the process typically take? What will I need to do to make sure that we are successful? What kind of communication from you can I expect? It's important to understand how this relationship will work so that you can both be successful. Are you accredited and legitimate? Ensure that the company is reputable by asking, are you accredited by the American Fair Credit Council or a similar organization? How long have you been in business? You may also want to search for any complaints that have been filed about the company with state or federal agencies. What happens if a creditor doesn't agree to settle? Not all creditors are willing to negotiate. Some tend to be unwilling if they think you aren't really in financial hardship. If they think you just don't want to pay, they may play hardball. So ask the debt settlement company how they handle situations where creditors refuse to settle. What risks do you face if creditors dig in their heels, such as lawsuits or increased debt due to penalties and interest? Will the debt settlement company provide any support if you are sued? Will I need to stop making payments to my creditors? This is a hallmark of the debt settlement process, so their answer should be yes, unless you have misunderstood and you're talking to someone about debt management plans or debt consolidation. What you want to hear is how they answer the question. Are they clear about how the process will go? If they are unwilling to be blunt and admit that you will default on your debts during the debt settlement process, they may not be transparent about less obvious issues. What is the minimum debt amount that I need to enroll? Most debt settlement companies have minimum debt amounts. $10,000 is a common minimum, but I have seen amounts as low as $6,000. If you have minimal debt, this might be the first question you ask. If you only have $5,000 in debt and their minimum is $10,000, there's really no point in still talking with them. What debts do they accept? Debt settlement companies only accept unsecured debt like credit card balances, personal loans, and medical debt. Some of them will accept IRS debt, but others will not. You want to be very clear about which of your debts will be considered so you can decide whether the process will really solve your problem. What are the risks of debt settlement? This question is designed to see how they describe the risks. Debt settlement will drive down your credit score and expose you to potential creditor lawsuits. Forgiven debt will also be taxed as income. So you want to see whether the debt settlement company will be upfront about some of these risks. If they tell you that there is no risk to the process, that should be a big red flag. Who manages my money in the account? Many debt settlement companies require you to deposit funds into a dedicated account to pay creditors once settlements are reached. Most of the companies contract the accounts out to another company. So you want to ask who manages the account. Are the funds in the account protected and insured? What happens if I decide to leave the program early? Will I get all the money in the account or will there be a penalty? If someone else is managing the account, do they charge separate fees? What happens if I can't afford the payments? When you ask this question, they will tell you that they will set the payment to something you can afford. And it's true that part of the process is deciding how much to put aside every month. But after you've decided, what if your finances take another turn for the worse? We all want to believe that nothing will go wrong, but things do happen. Is there any flexibility if I can't make the scheduled payment? Are there penalties for leaving the program early? You want to know what happens if things don't happen according to plan. What are the success rates for your program? Ask them specifically what percentage of the customers who start the process complete it. Companies love to advertise their successes, but what you want to know is how common it is for people to be unsuccessful. It is not uncommon for people to drop out of the program. It would be nice to know what percentage of people do. Similarly, they like to tell you about the customers who get the most debt forgiven, but you should ask, what is the average debt reduction across all of your customers? Does that average include people who drop out of the program or who were sued? Or does it just include people who have completed it? How much of the reduction do customers see? In other words, does the average reduction include your fees? What percentage of customers are sued by a creditor? It's not uncommon for a creditor to sue someone who is in the debt settlement process. Some creditors are more aggressive than others, and some creditors sue people when they don't think the borrower is really in financial distress. What you need to know is how common are the lawsuits. You will want to know whether it is something that happens just infrequently or regularly. Don't just settle for vague answers like not very often or hardly ever. Ask them for a percentage. The person you're talking to might not have that information, but what you want to see is how they answer the question. What does a settlement look like? Will the debts be paid off in a lump sum or with a payment plan? When there is a payment plan, will the payment come out of the debt settlement account, or will I need to come up with additional money to pay for it? This is important information because if you need to come up with additional money for a payment plan, you need to know that up front. The last thing you want is for the whole process to break down at the very point of settlement. Before signing up with a debt settlement company, ensure you fully understand their fees, process, risk, and success rates. A reputable company will be transparent and provide all the necessary details for you to make an informed decision. If their answers are unclear, consider looking for an alternative, such as credit counseling or debt consolidation. Always proceed with caution to protect your financial future. And if you want to explore the debt settlement process, you can find information at the Yukon Project. We have reviews of debt settlement companies and a partner that can connect you with a debt settlement company if you decide it's what you want to do. If you've ever been through the debt settlement process, consider leaving a comment below. Did we miss any questions that we should have included? We are trying to build a community of people who will share their experiences so we can all make better decisions about our personal finances. If you found this information helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support really helps us out, and we appreciate it. Thanks for watching.